Here's Jeff.
Yeah, Charles, obviously the rain has slowed down, but in moves the heat. And there are so many people outside right now trying to make a small dent in the cleanup effort. And you can see they truly have their work cut out for them. This is just one small slice of what we're seeing throughout eastern Kentucky. Pieces of woods, you have tree limbs over here, and then when you get down into the banks of the creek, you can see the water levels again are way down. But then off to the side, that's the wall of a nearby home, we're told. There's more shredded metal in there, and then further down the bank, again, as those water levels go down, it really starts to reveal more and more devastation. That is a car, if you can see there between some of the foliage out here, that has been submerged in there, and that's a common sight throughout eastern Kentucky. But what is
I've never tried it
incredible is that
before.
there are so many neighbors out here trying to help one
Say
another.
prayer.
They have an
Dear
incredible
God, thanks
spirit
for
to
this
get
food.
back on their feet and restore the community to what it was before, but maybe even better.
Help us have a nice day.
Well, we might not be the richest folks in the world, but I would say we're the happiest people in the world because we have God and country, and we still have those values, and we help each other.
Now, one of the things that we're hearing from people out here as they start to clean up is that they're worried about looting. They're seeing a lot of people coming from the outside in here trying to take advantage and take what little they do have left. The governor here in Kentucky addressed that, saying that he's got law enforcement out and that if people are thinking about looting, they would be luckier to run into one of his police officers than one of the tough Kentuckians that lived through this latest storm. Charles?
I say amen to that one. Thank you so much, Jeff, and much hope for the folks down there. Meanwhile, folks, the July employment report is out on Friday. It's expected to show a boost of about 250, but another number I'm focusing on signals that maybe it could actually be a bust.
My relationship with my credit cards wasn't good. I got into debt in college, and no matter how much I paid, it followed me everywhere. Between the high interest, the fees, felt trapped. So I broke up with my credit card debt and consolidated it into a low-rate personal loan from SoFi. I finally feel like a grown-up.
Bring up your bad credit card debt. Get a personal loan with no fees, low fixed rates, and borrow up to 100K. Go to SoFi.com to keep your rate. SoFi, get your money right.
Do you have a life insurance policy you no longer need? Now you can sell your policy, even a term policy, for an immediate cash payment.
We thought we had planned carefully for our retirement.
But we quickly realized we needed a way to supplement our income.
If you have $100,000 or more of life insurance, you may qualify to sell your policy. Don't cancel or let your policy lapse without finding out what it's worth. Visit CoventryDirect.com to find out if your policy qualifies. Or call 1-800-515-4100. Coventry Direct. Redefining insurance.
My name is Joe. I always thought I was going to be healthy, but I was never really to get it. There's a lot of confusion out there. This vitamin is good, this vitamin isn't good. It's always changing. We're like our balance in nature. You can't contradict what everybody knows. Fruits and vegetables are good. They've never been over that.
Start now by going to balancenature.com and don't forget to use discount code Fox News.
Hey, Gary. Hey, you've been up there all night?
Yeah.
Wireless outdoor security kit. The worst of someone says to already works in income security for even more comprehensive protection.
The new wireless outdoor security camera is here, only from Simply Safe.
Attention, if you were stationed or working in Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you may have been exposed to contaminated water and may have developed serious health issues as a result. A new law could make it possible for anyone who lived or worked in Camp Lejeune during that time frame to receive compensation, even if they previously filed a VA claim and were denied. To see if you qualify, call 855-228-8880. That's 855-228-8880. Don't delay. Call 855-228-8888 right now.
The best customer rewards you get rewarded.
Captain Crunch peanut butter.
And on the go.
Crunch.
Find your rewards so you can reconnect, disconnect, hold on tight, and let go. Save 2 nights and get a free night. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Get a dozen strips for only $1 with Steak entree. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Discover intuitive technology at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
College doesn't care that I have to work double shifts. On test day, if I'm not ready, it's not like they're going to move it. I need a school that can work around all this.
Tests on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, the tightness, stinging, pain.
Emerge Tremfyant. With Tremfyant, most people sum 90% clear skin at 16 weeks. The majority of people sum 90% clear skin even at 5 years.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya can increase the risk of infection from those with plaque. Tell your doctor if you have an reaction or symptoms, or if you have a vaccine influenza.
Emerge Tremfyant. With Tremfyant. Ask your doctor about Tremfyant today.
At 20 minutes.
Shares of Clorox getting taken to the cleaners and after-hours trading. The consumer products giant down about 6.5% right now after posting their results. This coming ahead of the Friday jobs report, which is getting some juice, or should I say a jolt. Friday's job report numbers. Now, right now, the street's looking at 250, some looking for even more. This coming out as we learned that job openings over the past 3 months fell at the fastest pace ever outside of the pandemic.
No.
And Robin Hood, just the latest company that's left positions, cutting nearly 25% of their workforce. So all this, what does it mean for Friday? Because that is the big number everybody's waiting for. I'm going to get to read from Larry Glazer of Mayflower Advisors. Now, Larry, there was a major firm on the street that went to 300,000 today. But again, we got some ISM data, the service numbers, the unemployment numbers still in traction. And anecdotally, it feels like we're going to get a number. And I think it could be Friday. That's going to be an absolute disaster and send everybody scurrying to sort of figure out where this economy is.
Yeah, John, it's not a question of whether the economy is slowing, it's how severe and where the pain will be felt. And there's no question, it's a convoluted job market. On the one hand, Chipotle can't find people to make burritos. Delta can't unload airplanes, but more than 30,000 highly paid, middle-class technology jobs in the future were eliminated in the month of July. And I think that JOLT survey speaks miles about the direction things are headed. And it is the quality of jobs here. That Friday's jobs report is going to understate the quality of what's happening here. It's the highly paid, skilled jobs that are being eliminated here because those are the ones that got an artificial boost of excessive government spending. It's the low-wage service jobs that are sticking around. That's no way to build a middle class in this country. Look, Charles, I'm no fan of Robinhood. They were not a fiduciary. The regulators don't like them. They weren't good to their customers. They weren't good to their shareholders. With all that said, it's not just Robinhood. It's Tesla laying people off. It's Shopify laying people off. The capital markets aren't functioning because of Washington. They can't raise money here. And Apple, Meta, Google, they're much better companies, but even they have hiring freezes going on right now.
It's interesting in that JOLT report, the one thing that remained elevated was quits. Because people who are quitting their jobs are getting big-time raises, and people who stay aren't. But that being said, participation, and from everyone that's saying this is not a recession because the jobs market is strong, every time I ask, well, what about participation? Because the core unemployment report number rate, rather, that goes down when people leave the labor force, to me it's a farce. There's still so many people out of this labor force. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they pay their bills, but they won't come back to work, Larry.
It's a really good point. And Charles, it takes a recession to get people to go back to the office. And I would say that recognize that a lot of what we're seeing here, a lot of the confusion, a lot of the pain, a lot of the challenges comes out in the middle class. And consumer demand is slacking because of rising prices. So all of what you're seeing in the job market is a response to inflation. It's a response to that excess spending that's going on in Washington. So recognize these are inextricably linked. And that's where the pain is felt. And unfortunately, we all pay the price here. And right now, it's in the form of really high-quality middle-class jobs that are being eliminated increasingly. And we expect to see more of that as job openings vanish over the months ahead.
Real quick, less than a minute to go. Uber reported their earnings, a 76% increase in drivers from a year ago. So people moving to the side hustle, right? I mean, so there are some real serious cracks in this labor market. And now, because of recession and inflation, people finding whatever they can to make ends meet.
John, and again, that is the really good point here. Watching this job is don't make a bad situation worse. They were very late in seeing inflation, and they were late in seeing the recession signals. And
Look at this box.
Yeah. Larry, thank you so much. Always appreciate it. I mean, folks, how will the spending bill will impact folks in November? We're on it. And when prices running up, how are shoppers cutting down? Lydia Hughes with us. Lydia.
Hey there, Charles. More Americans are turning to discount stores for their grocery purchases as prices at the grocery store are skyrocketing. We're talking to shoppers here about how inflation is changing what they buy and where they buy it. That's coming up.
And give me a socket wrench, pliers, and a photo at libertymutual.com. Customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And you can save $652 when you switch. Okay, I need a crowbar and a blowtorch. They move. Call a mechanic. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Don't wait for a new song for the all-new Subway Series menu. Let's hear about this number 7 pick from a former number 7 pick.
Juicy rotisserie style chicken. You should have been number 1.
This isn't about that sandwich, is it, Chuck? It's not. The new Subway Series. What's your pick?
For adults with generalized myasthenia gravis, who are positive for acetylcholine receptor antibodies, it may feel like the world is moving without you. But the picture is changing with VYVGART. In a clinical trial, participants achieved improved daily abilities with VYVGART added to their current treatment. And VYVGART helped clinical trial participants achieve reduced muscle weakness. VYVGART may increase the risk of infection. In a clinical study, the most common infections were urinary tract and respiratory tract infections. Tell your doctor if you have a history of infections or if you have symptoms of an infection. VYVGART can cause allergic reactions. The most common side effects include respiratory tract infection, headache, and urinary tract infection. Picture your life in motion with VYVGART, a treatment designed using a fragment of an antibody. Ask your neurologist if VYVGART can be right for you.
Paul Pelosi pleads not guilty to DUI. Now, the district attorney is finally speaking out. Jesse breaks down the latest as he continues to fight for the truth on Jesse Waters Primetime.
I'm Steve Johnson, founder of Ideation. With rising interest rates and inflation, there's a lot of uncertainty in today's real estate market. Now more than ever, selecting the right real estate agent can be the difference in tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket. Experience matters. At Ideal Agent, we'll connect you with a top local agent who'll get you the best results for as low as a 2% commission.
With Ideal Agent, we were able to get one of the top agents in our area, and he made the process extremely comfortable. He was very professional, and his expertise just up to Swinsky. And through that process, we were able to save $23,000.
We've helped thousands of home sellers and buyers get 5-star results, ranking us #1 in real estate on Trustpilot.
It really shouldn't be as simple as it is. We just picked up the phone, called Ideal Agent, they put us in touch with our agent, and they handled everything.
There's no obligation or upfront cost. Call today or visit idealagent.com.
If you spent time on base at Camp Lejeune prior to 1988 and developed any of these cancers or suffered any of these injuries, you may be eligible for significant financial compensation.
Leaking underground tanks, contaminated drinking water with benzene and other highly carcinogenic chemicals.
There have been numerous reported cases of exposed personnel developing cancer and other serious health conditions. Call Camp Lejeune victims to discuss your case now.
Agent number is 901599.
Americans grappling with runaway inflation are looking for ways to shop less.
You look really little.
Discounts. Lydia, he was talking to shoppers in Nutley, New Jersey. Lydia.
Hi there, Charles. As prices at the grocery store are skyrocketing, more and more Americans are turning to dollar and discount stores for their food purchases. And we're seeing this trend even among Americans who are considered high earners. Watch here.
I've tried everything, but
stick to, this is, like cheaper food.
I don't see how it can happen with
Give
the
something
big
to drink?
companies and what's like this. Like, how is this allowed? We don't have any other choice, it seems. Average spending on grocery products at discount chains increased 71% from October of last year to June of this year. And during that same time period, spending at traditional grocery stores declined by 5%. And a survey by Numerator also found that people making more than $80,000 a year are showing the largest increase in the number of visits